Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, the message today, I'm hearing that Queen song that's like, don't stop me now, I'm having such a good time, I'm having a ball, which, it surprised me that the cards came out so good because we do have that Scorpio new moon tonight. And I'll make another video with that showing the chart, but it's a pretty intense one. It's not just alone. Mercury retrograde is right exact with the sun and moon. Black moon Lilith is there. Venus is also in Scorpio. This new moon, I guess I'll go through it a little bit, is opposing in exact opposition to Uranus. And then also making a grand water trine to Neptune and Saturn in Pisces and to Jupiter in Cancer. So really intense energies, but then I look here and I'm like, well, right the fuck on. The only challenge card is the Eight of Swords reversed, and that's like at the bottom of the reading. So I think because of the way it builds up and with what I've been reading about this new moon, and I have a Scorpio moon, so I get this energy. It looks like there's some deep traumas, unconscious beliefs, patterns, maybe even hidden agendas, and not to be dramatic, but like hidden, if somebody is like smiling in your face but behind your back, like all of this stuff could come to light today. But really it looks like more of an internal thing. And I was reading about this particular new moon because while this new moon, the sun and moon and Mercury retrograde are in this grand water trine, the planets involved, Mercury is retrograde, Saturn and Neptune are both retrograde, Jupiter is retrograde. So this is about like surfacing deep emotions that have been locked away within you. So in palm reading, I call it trauma locks. We are unlocking trauma, but the beautiful thing about it, even though it's no fun when you unlock that trauma, it's like you have to process it. And unfortunately, the only way out is through. I think of that word or that phrase, it's okay to be trauma informed without becoming trauma absorbed. But then I always want to add in the caveat, but while you're becoming trauma informed, of course you're going to become trauma absorbed because you're reliving the trauma, it's flooding through your body, but you can alchemize it, you can heal it. Drink lots of water, positive affirmations. I did a really intense chakra alignment meditation as soon as I woke up this morning, and it feels so good. And I felt like I wanted to share that with you anyway, because a lot of, any chakra alignment meditation that you feel drawn to, of course, honor that. But the one that I did today, there's an app called One Mother, and I think you can find it on Spotify too. I think that's how I found this lady originally. And most of those are paid, but she does have free meditations. And the one I recommend is called The Best Chakra Alignment Ever. And what's unique about that meditation is that she has you align it, focus on your spine, aligning the chakras. Usually it's like in the center of your body. But there's something about aligning that energy on your spine that might be really beneficial for you today and in the future. I know I'm feeling it really empowering today as I lose my throat, lose my voice. But it's funny. I saw the chakra. Maybe get yourself some lapis. Looking at my table, I've got this beautiful little lapis tower, and then I had to get this kitty, my lapis, and you can go into Instant Karma and find your own lapis. Anyway, so it feels like resurrecting. That's a word that really wants to come up. So a very strong Phoenix energy. Scorpio's ruled by Pluto. That is the Phoenix energy. So things being resurrected, traumas coming to the surface, beliefs, patterns, conversations even, but it feels like more of an internal kind of a thing. What I wanted to say is, like, while it does put you into that the only way out is through kind of energy, underneath all of that trauma is a part of you. a piece of you that was locked away and hidden in that trauma. And so this is really a powerful time of reclamation, reclaiming those parts of yourself into wholeness and coming into that deeper self-love, self-acceptance, self-worth, not allowing outside circumstances to define you or your worthiness or your self-love. Collectively, we've got to overcome this programming of proving ourselves and feeling guilty all the time for not being what outside beings who really are just humans. And many of these humans, I mean, there's a lot of humans with wonderful intentions, and then there's a lot of humans who are greedy and violent. And when they have structured our realities and how we perceive ourselves and perceive others, it's very toxic. And I feel like that's the foundation for why there's so much narcissism and codependency and all of that stuff. Anyway, I'm on a tangent, but that's what this 8 of Swords reversed, that's all that wanted to say. The next row that we have is the Prince of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles. And I want to point out too that as there's energy flowing up in like tears or whatever, overlighting this is the 10 of Cups. And so, you know, depending on how well you know the tarot, in the minor arcana, there's 2 happy 10s and there's 2 not so happy 10s. We've got both happy 10s in this reading today, and both are upright. Very positive with the money and the self-worth and foundation. So this is emotional fulfillment. And, you know, 10s indicate the completion of a cycle. 1 + 0 = 1. It's time to initiate something. But it indicates like a solid foundation that you've got for yourself, or that you can create for yourself. So again, don't shy away from whatever wants to surface today. Watch your thoughts. We have a tendency to create a story around what our thoughts are, around what we're feeling. And it's okay to like validate yourself, but then also don't define yourself by the stories. I think that's what's holding us back. We're creating our own structures around ourselves. And while there might be some sort of satisfaction in that, even, I don't know, like a self-soothing kind of a thing, there's something that wants us to go beyond, to push beyond, and not allow these things to define us any longer. And so, man, that 8 of Swords just really wants to speak. I want to mention also, this deck belonged to my grandmother who passed away. I didn't even know that she was into tarot or any of that until she had passed away. And my sweet Aunt Nina gave me this deck and another deck that had belonged to my grandma. So whenever this deck wants to come out, I haven't even used it in a while. It's been kind of sitting on a dresser, and then today it said, so I kind of feel like this is the ancestors wanting to speak to us. So a lot of like healing, and that makes sense, healing a lot of generational trauma, generational patterns, generational, you know, toxic behaviors and whatever. And then there's this 7 of Cups reversed. It's interesting. I didn't want to go too deep into this, but then we've got the Sun reversed here. It kind of feels like it's asking you to unlock these emotions. You do have options. You do have, it's almost like an emotional availability kind of a thing. But being emotionally available for yourself, I feel like really giving yourself permission to look into the cups and to shine light into the shadows. So again, that 10 of Cups, there's a great opportunity for you to find emotional fulfillment and an emotional solid foundation. I think there's a great opportunity for healing trauma right now. And so with that, again, the 10 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, the Knight, the Prince of Wands. So this is fire energy. Fire energy is about passion, motivation, inspiration, creativity, action, courage, desire, really going after what it is that you want. With this Prince energy, it's like a knight, you know, and you see that he's in his chariot. He's boldly going after his passions. My favorite combination when pentacles are involved is earth and fire. Because the earth speaks to longevity, and you've got this 10 of Pentacles, which speaks to a solid material foundation or a solid financial foundation. Again, underlying all of this, it kind of feels like there's a message that says you can you can do better in life if you're not doing well now, or you can sustain how well you're doing if you are doing well, or maybe you are at a place that you're like, depending on where this is at, it could be that with all this underlying stuff, maybe you are coming to recognize financial blocks or something like that, because the Six of Pentacles speaks to assistance. This can be others helping you out. This could be the universe helping you out. Alternatively, if you are in a very solid place, maybe you'll be asked to help others. And what is that saying? It's not a handout, but it's a leg up kind of a thing. And so it's like, I'm almost getting like a Hierophant kind of energy where your wisdom can assist others. It's that whole, from this, for some reason, I'm feeling that whole, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. So there's something where maybe, it's not so much about sharing your money, but it's sharing your wealth of knowledge or something like that. And with this Prince of Fire, Prince of Wands, maybe they're asking you to establish something, maybe invest in something, either to help you out to receive. Don't be afraid to receive, but also don't be afraid to go after your passions right now, because it's just looking really positive that you can establish a firm foundation. Again, fire is that fast moving, passionate energy. Earth is very slow moving. These are seeds as well as money. This is like long-term investments, planting a garden, cultivating those seeds, nurturing it into being very patient with yourself and being patient with the process and holding true to your vision. And then we come up to here and we have the Prince of Discs and the Queen of Discs. This is more of that earth energy. So very predominantly earth energy in this reading. And so this is what's crowning the reading, is this Prince of Discs and this Queen of Discs. This is probably my favorite depiction of the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Coins, because it really demonstrates the discipline and the patience and the commitment that this queen holds. Again, earth is very slow moving energy. She also sits in her chariot holding to her pentacle, her coin, but she looks to the long winding road ahead. And so she's invested today, because while she does want to enjoy the fruits of her labors today, she's also invested in long-term kinds of things. So this is really about investing in your vision, knowing your worth. She knows her worth. She knows her worth. She values herself. She values her vision. And, with this Prince of Discs, this could be about having an idea that you want to invest in, but maybe not having that firm footing that the Queen has, feeling a little bit tenuous about, is this a wise investment? Is this, am I taking a risk? And with both of these princes coming out, it's like wanting to act on something, but it's almost like an analysis paralysis kind of thing, where it's like you've got the passion and the ideas, but then you doubt yourself. You doubt your worthiness, you doubt your abilities. And so it's like you stop, you're afraid to move forward on it. But with this Queen of Pentacles and these crowning the reading, I think what it's saying is, take your time but hearing that Nirvana song, take your time, hurry up. Take your time, but make movement. Even the smallest action towards your goals is something. And I'm feeling like you'll get some, I don't know if it's dopamine or what it is, but I'm hearing dopamine. You'll get like a little hit of that every time you move in the direction of your passion and you invest in yourself and you say, well, I did that. Sometimes writing it down and putting a little box next to it and then checking it, it's crazy how satisfying that is, but it really can be. But again, with this crowning your reading, underneath it, you've got this 10 of Pentacles. Overlighting this reading is the 10 of Cups. I think it's very much saying, face your fears, invest in yourself, really go after what it is, but take your time and don't look for instant gratification. Again, I'm wanting to come back to the 7 of Cups and the Sun reversed. I think this is like a long-term process where I think you are overcoming generational patterned thinking, generational beliefs about giving your power away and doubting yourself. And, if you've got abusive family members, for example, it doesn't just have to be family, but abusive family members who don't understand you, and they're constantly putting you down because you don't live up to their expectations, or you don't live up to whatever. That's feeling like it's coming up quite a bit today. Like it's time to release that. You don't have to look at yourself through their lens. You're not beholden to what others put on you. Again, I must need to call my Aunt Nina, because her wisdom coming through again. And I don't know if she'd like that I'm sharing. Oh, well, too late. She used to say, there's 3 of them. I only remember 2, but it's like, if they're not paying your bills, if you're not fucking them, and then there was a 3rd thing, but if they're not directly involved in your life and contributing in some way, then you're not sharing anything. You don't have to answer to them about it. And if they are helping you, then make sure, I guess, be clear to ask, be very discerning about who you accept help from. There's so much, it goes deeper. You've got this Princess of Cups upright, but this Ace of Cups reversed, and this Magician reversed. There's some deep stuff underneath that, where you're giving your power away, trying to prove your worthiness, and you're drained, pouring yourself into what others are trying to. There's just a lot of overcoming programming right now in this reading. Again, Magician reversed, Ace of Cups reversed, and this Princess reversed. It's like you're giving your power away so much. You don't see how powerful you are with that Magician, and so you let others overpower you, but it's a drain, and it's not fulfilling you, and you can't fulfill your own vision and your own expectations, and all that you are longing to be. You could be in a job where you make great money, but you are not happy, and you feel like you've sold your soul, and you're living a lie. Well, that's pretty draining, and you're just giving your power away. Ideally, we would all be secure and safe and stable, financially, emotionally, and otherwise, by being exactly who we are and being true to our own visions. Never know how deep the reading's going to go, but underneath all of that, then we got the Empress upright. So all of this is leading you towards you knowing your worth, you knowing your value, you receiving and being creative and being true and abundant and invested in yourself. I love that you've got, where did I put all my cards? I love that you've got the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to have it so they're facing each other. Look in the mirror of yourself. So invest in yourself, long-term commitment, commit to yourself. And it feels like there is going to be a time of probably discomfort, facing uncomfortable emotions, facing uncomfortable truths, healing a lot, looking at yourself. And this does mean get honest with yourself. If you do have a tendency to self-sabotage, I know one of my self-sabotage things is scrolling instead of getting to work or whatever. And it's okay to look at that and say, yeah, I need to change that, and then follow through, commit to that. That's part of that Queen of Pentacles. Value yourself enough to do the thing that you know aligns to your truth and your power, and not giving your power away to things that drain you. And it looks like as you're willing to look at this, shine light into the shadows, then I want to make these 2 cards upright. The more you shine light into the shadows, the more you can recognize things that you have been pouring yourself into that maybe are more to your detriment, and also things that you could be pouring into that would be of great benefit. And then again, this 10 of Cups, and then we've got the 6 of Swords. The energy you will move on from this. You will overcome, you will progress. But I would say don't try to escape the discomfort right now. Again, the Scorpio moon is a banger. And know your fucking worth, and have a vision for your life, and don't let anything stop you. Don't stop me now. Having such a good time. All right, that's all I have for today. Peace and love. Until next time.